Hey everyone, Dr. Matt here with Elevation Chiropractic. And today I want to take just a couple minutes to talk about energy. Energy is something that a lot of people struggle with. We usually hear this conversation as we take care of our patients. We hear this when we're out in the community. And you may be someone watching this video that says, yes, my energy is not where it's supposed to be. I typically tell our patients that lack of energy comes from two main areas. Number one, it comes from the stress in our life. When the stress in our life starts to build, it affects our adaptability, it affects our resiliency, but most importantly, in regards to energy, it affects our efficiency. Number two, when stress is chronic, when it stays there for too long, what it actually does, it overactivates the sympathetic part of our nervous system, which is the fight or flight, which also doesn't allow your body to be able to get back to rest and to balance. Some of you are familiar with this. The sympathetics are the ones that kick in when you're in a dangerous situation or an emergency. The parasympathetics are the ones that kick in, which allow you to rest, recover, heal, get restful sleep, and digest and process food properly. When it comes to the accumulation of the stress on a day-to-day basis, it can be broken down into three categories. Physical stress, right? Repetition, overuse, wear and tear, accidents, traumas, falls. Chemical stress, which oftentimes isn't thought about. This comes from the foods that we eat, the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, the stuff that we put on our skin, in our bodies, in our hair. All of those chemicals start to accumulate. And then lastly, and I would say most significant, is emotional stress. And this comes from just living life. This comes from being in person. This comes from being in relationships, having children, going to work every day, having financial decisions to make, living through a world that's full of COVID or whatever that means for you. But emotional stress just begins to compile. When that happens, our bandwidth for stress goes from here and starts to slowly get smaller and smaller to where at the end of the day, our body is in this overwhelmed state where we just have a hard time shutting it down. So for a lot of you, that's the situation you're in. That leads to inflammation, that can lead to pain, which also can affect your ability to get restful sleep. But just in regards to sleep alone, when your body doesn't shut down, you can't get there. Going back to the nervous system in regards to sympathetics and parasympathetics, when your body is always in that fight or flight, it really doesn't have the ability to rest and shut down. And so you stay in this heightened, aware, anxious state all the time. And although that's extremely important in an emergency, it's devastating when it's there every single day, every single month, and every single year. So as this starts to build in our bodies, what we notice is the efficiency within our system goes down and down. So there's a couple ways to make sure you can attack this. Number one, you need to be aware of what your routine is, at and before bedtime, making sure that you are preparing, yourself to be able to shut down and wind down. That may be putting down the phone. That may be not watching TV shows that get you riled up. That might be making sure the room is dark, making sure the room is the right temperature. Maybe you need a sound machine. Maybe you need to make sure there's not additional kids or pets or whatever in your bed that allows for you to actually get to a place where you can rest. When it comes to the sympathetics, there's really only a few things that help to downregulate and balance the sympathetic nervous system. One of them being adaptogenic herbs, another being exercise, and a third, an extremely powerful way to affect sleep is through the chiropractic adjustment. When someone gets adjusted, when their spine gets mobilized, it resets the nervous system. It brings the sympathetics back into balance and it gives your body a chance to recharge and refresh. It also helps to upregulate the parasympathetics, which then allows for restful sleep, better digestion, better healing overall. And for most people, they notice that very quickly. I can just tell you this, after adjusting thousands and thousands of people, one of the first things that we hear as they start care is how much better they're sleeping. When you're getting more restful sleep, your energy goes up, and it all comes down to, number one, the stress in your life, and number two, the balance and efficiency of your nervous system from one day to the next. I hope that helps.